In a world of uncertainty, the Ronin stands apart. A master of sales and marketing who answers to no one. Put your own path. Create your own success. 1,000 leaders, 1,000 Ronins. Will you be next? Join the revolution now. Step into mastery at therevenueronin.com. In a world of uncertainty, the Ronin stands apart. A master of sales and marketing who answers to no one. Forge your own path. Create your own success. 1,000 leaders, 1,000 Ronins. Will you be next? Join the revolution now. Step into mastery at therevenueronin.com.
All right, welcome guys. Welcome. I'm coming down with a cold right now, so my apologies for my voice here, but yeah, just started getting a sore throat last night and you know, going with my medicine, but yeah, not a good time for me to be getting sick again, but yeah, we're here, we're rolling with it. We're gonna get through the space here. So thanks guys for being here. We're in the Revenue Ronin community today because it's Thursday. So every Tuesday and Thursday, we're in the Revenue Ronin community. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're in the Startup Circle community. So welcome. Um, so yeah, today's topic is a good one here. You know, how are you tracking your success metrics? Um, we're heading into the end of the year, and you know, we're going to start seeing a lot of beehive metrics, right? And revenue metrics and reporting and all that good stuff, right? So it's good to understand and have a basic understanding of, hey, how am I tracking, you know, how am I measuring success? What metrics are important with all this data? And so we're going to be breaking that down. So appreciate everyone being here and would love to hear from Jason because, he's a big social media guy like myself, so he's got a lot of wisdom to share, and I'm not 100% all here today in my mind. So I'm gonna definitely need some help from the Ronins today. So, but yeah, I mean, I have a really big week this week, man, and yeah, like definitely not a good time to start getting sick again. I was just sick, like with pneumonia and bronchitis, and now coming down with a sore throat and congestion, just not fun. But I appreciate everyone being here, and we're gonna get through it here. And yeah, let's check in with Christelle. Christelle, good morning. How you doing?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Justin. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. And I also never sent you that tea recipe. So now I really want to send it because what it does, I had this, and it's crazy because it was after I came back from a trip. But I had bronchitis just like over and over again, or the symptoms of it. And it wasn't until I started making this tea. I know that might sound crazy to some people, like a tea, but I learned it from this Ethiopian woman that I was friends with in DC, and it's her family's recipe, and it kills. Thyme is an antiviral, so it kills the virus that is just staying there. So it's like any sort of allergen or little thing will activate it, and so I'm going to share it with you. I know it might sound a little woo woo, but just trust me, like give it, I'm all about results, right? So I swear by this tea. It worked for me. It takes a couple weeks. You have to be consistent like everything else. Look at this. Even plant medicine works like, we work. But yeah, you do it multiple times a day. All you have to do is make it once a day and then just reheat the tea throughout the day. But if you do it for 2 weeks, it's going to knock out, it's an antiviral. So it starts to kill, the virus that's in there. So anyways, I just had to say that because I really feel your pain. Like, I know what you're going through, and I want you to be able to knock it out so you don't have to deal with that anymore. But yeah, much love to you and everybody else. Good to see Andy, Jason, Antonio, Danielle, Treyshard, George, Ezekiel. We'll cover for you more today, Justin, so you can get a little bit more rest. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Repost the space if you haven't, quote it, share it, and join the Revenue Ronin community.
Yeah, thanks, Christelle. Yeah, I'll definitely look forward to that recipe because I need it. So, and I'm all about holistic health. So, awesome. All right, and yeah, get ready to share some of your metrics from Beehive and other metrics. I know you got some good traction there, and yeah, let's check in with Andy, and I want to hear from Jason and Antonio as well. Excuse me. So yeah, Andy, how's it going?
Morning. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Tracking metrics, one of my favorite things is tracking the things that are important, like how much did you weigh today? How much is in your bank account today? Did you talk to your favorite people today or yesterday? Did you accomplish one of your 3 goals for the day? Right, that's pretty much it. If you take your list of things you need to accomplish, because we all have a list, pick one. Throw away the list or move the list aside and focus on the one thing until you get it done. That's how I do it. It's not complicated. It's difficult. My life is like playing chess. I think 5 moves ahead. I make one thing at a time. But I have to think about one move can create all these opportunities for the next opportunities, for the next opportunities. And my goal is not to pick the right one move forward. It's to make sure that I get whatever move it is not the one that will guarantee failure. So I eliminate everything that's going to guarantee my failure, everything that's possibly going to be a failure, and then whatever's left, I choose that one as it aligns with whatever my one goal is for the day. There you go.
Yeah, the one thing rule, I think that's really powerful. Because we, and I think I saw a video that you shared, Andy, where, the executive was talking about how typically when you're at like a board meeting or an executive meeting, they have a PowerPoint and they're like, all right, well, these are initiatives for next year, and it's like 20 things. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but you're going to get, surface level results if you just do 20 different things for the year, as opposed to I like to focus on like 2 to 3 key initiatives max. And obviously that's more manageable than 20, right? And so if you go deep and hard on, and we always talk about it, one platform, one offer, one target audience. Yeah.
One, right. One solution for one problem for one group of people, telling them the same story on one platform until you get to whatever you need. Alex Hormozy's, that's what his is. One offer, one platform, one group, until you milk $1 million.
Yeah, and his price point is like 5K. You go to Vegas, I believe the offer is what I've seen is you pay 5K, you fly over to Vegas, and then he's gonna, be with you in the room for like a weekend or something, and then he's gonna help you.
Team. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, well, great. Thanks for being here, Andy. Let's check in with Jason and then Antonio and Danielle. Would love to hear from you guys. Yeah, Jason, how's it going, man?
Hi, Justin. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Andy, Christelle, Danielle, Antonio. Hi, everyone. I'm feeling a bit sick as well, but I heard that you were sick, and I thought I'll come up and try and speak for a bit, and maybe I can help out in today's space for a little while. I think the kids have given me something. They're always giving me something, always giving me bugs and flu and germs and things. But yeah, we're suffering a bit. Maybe it's time of the year and things, but I was just going to add something onto what Andy was saying. And when you're talking about success metrics, I've always done it from a professional, perspective. Everyone's got different
like goals in life that they want to achieve. But if you're trying to get to revenue with success, if that's what your benchmarks are for social, it's always been like, what is revenue in the bank, and then what did it take to get to that stage? So working backwards from that point. So instead of thinking how much content I need to put out, or how much reach I need to get, or how many likes I need to get, or how many DMs I need to send or receive, or whatever that is, that way round. Instead, think about how the revenue has gone into your bank, and then what were the actions that you did to get there. And if you're not getting any actions, then you need to change the actions and change the output that you're putting through to be able to get that revenue coming through. So I've always looked at it in reverse. And up to a few years ago, I was always thinking, well, the real metric is about how many DMs that you get, how many DMs that you're getting from people. But I think in this day and age, with the amount of noise there is out there, the amount of content that's going out is I mean, we've seen how much this has increased over the past like 5 or 6 years, but over the last 2 or 3 years, the output has just gone so much higher. And now we've got AI, and we can have content written for us, and we can do all this stuff. We can do blog posts and videos, and all. We can flood the market with content. So how do you stand out? How do you differentiate yourself? And I think it goes back to the metric I was just talking about. If you can track what revenue is coming in, then you can take the right actions to be able to get the right results to be able to get there. So yeah, I was just going to add that really. And I'm sorry you're feeling sick. And Christelle, it would be really good if you had that tea recipe. If you could send that out in one of your emails, I think that would be great, because I'd really like that too. It sounds awesome. Oh my goodness, I love an email request. That makes me so happy. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Yeah, some great insights there. And one thing even I have to share with you, I was on a call with a CEO yesterday and I did a proposal, a high ticket proposal. Okay, we're talking high ticket, okay, which is my favorite, you know that. But one of the challenges they have is they have, 1,000, veterinarian clinics they work with, but they have a challenge of keeping them active, right? So they buy the piece of equipment, but then they realize, wow, we need to get more utilization out of it. And so it's more of a reverse funnel situation where they already have the customers activated, they have the piece of equipment, but then they're not using the equipment, the vet clinics. So now they have to do we have to put together a whole entire activation campaign and usage campaign. And so that's going to include social, that's going to include email, that's going to include video, that's going to include a portal, that's going to include webinars, even ads. And he's like, we've never really had to do marketing before. And the numbers I was getting from other agencies were outrageous, Justin. And so, I would love to see what you can propose. And so I took the transcript from the Zoom call. I put it into Claude, my custom Claude project proposal, and did him up a nice high ticket 90-day pilot program with the stipulation at the end, if we help you start to activate 20, 30 clinics from there, then we go into a year-long agreement. So yeah, I was really excited to put that up. But to your point, Jason, it's like even existing customers, like and it's an attention game, we know that, right? So even existing customers that have your products doesn't mean they're going to use it. You got to remind them, you got to reach out to them, you got to stay top of mind. It's really important. And this didn't exist years ago, right? This did not exist years ago. So the 50 to 100 touch points is real. Let me tell you, even if you have customers, you still have to stay in front of them somehow. So how are you going to do that? You got to develop a strategy, a content plan, and look, you really have to stay in front of your existing customers with an omni-channel presence. That just means multiple channels. That's all that means. So really critical there. So thanks, Jason, for that. And yeah, let's check in with Antonio, and then we'll go to Danielle, and then we'll go to Blockface. Okay, Antonio, man, how's it going?
How's it going? How's everyone doing?
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as tracking your success metrics, right? I'm making that transition from the corporate world as well, and uh, that is something that kind of falls by the wayside when you're going at it alone, right? But I recently got onto Beehive, per Christel, and I saw all the shiny metrics there, and it just kind of reminds you that without those metrics, you really don't know where we know.
Did we lose Antonio?
I was gonna say I can't hear. Yeah, I was like, we'll take a moment of silence.
Okay, I think he's coming back. So, okay, let's jump to Danielle a minute. Danielle, how's it going?
Wait, give me 1 second. I'm in the middle of something. Circle back to me.
Okay, you got it.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go back to Jason. And yeah, I want to shout out Danielle real quick. I'm on the speaker circuit again, guys. Get ready. I posted a post about it. Yeah, like I used to do a lot of speaking actually paid. Social media marketing, back in I used to teach a class in Maricosta College on, digital marketing, doing business in the digital age back in 2010, 11, 12, 13. And that was fun. I enjoy teaching. It was a full class. I had them all as part of the requirement of the class. And it was a 2 week class. It wasn't like a full semester. It was just a 2 week class, right? So, but I made a requirement is you had to buy my ebook. So I got like 300 or 400 sales, right? So that was great. But yeah, I'm excited to be back on the speaking circuit. I'm on a business advisory panel at Palomar, which I went to that school as well. And then and one of the teachers who got me in, she was actually attending my class at Maricosta years ago. And so she reached out and she's like, "Hey, can you come speak to our advisory board this year?" Like, yeah, no problem, no problem. So that's exciting. And then also my Cal State San Marcos alumni, the Entrepreneur Society, they reached out and they said, "Hey, Justin, yeah, we want you to come speak, in Q1 next year." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So the only, free pro bono work I do is for education and military. So anything that's associated with education or military that's local, no charge. I don't charge for speaking. Anything else, I charge for speaking. So those are my only two stipulations. So they're in luck. They're getting a good deal. But yeah, I'm excited. So but yeah, let's go back and thanks for leading the charge. And Danielle's been inspiring me to just like get back on the speaking circuit. After 10 years or 15 years of taking a hiatus. So, but yeah, let's go to Jason and then we'll go to Danielle and then back to Antonio.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Justin, and I don't think I have to tell you this, I'm sure you've thought of this already, but just to make sure you're documenting all of that content, I think now it's not just about taking one camera to a speaking event, it's about having, a setup where you've got 2 or 3 cameras set up, recording different angles to be able to get all that stuff, then run it through Opus Clip and think about how you're going to, push all that content out later on. I was just going to add when you said about customers that are saying they've never had to market before. I think what I've seen in the last kind of 6 months is the most amount of people I've ever spoken to. Like I used to hear that now and again from people, like once or twice a year, I would get the odd client that would be like, "Oh, we've never had to market before," and they sort of boast and brag about that and feel like they're so good they didn't need to do it. But what they had was just a really small client base that they all knew the people and they were happy and comfortable with what they were doing. Now they've got competitors, they've got competition, they've got other people have come into the market, and now they have to market. Now they have to get out there and do these things. So yeah, it's definitely a trend. It's like that kind of. I've heard you talk about the kind of forced entrepreneurship. I feel like we didn't have to market before until now is another trend that we're seeing. The people that have been quietly, running their businesses, small in a kind of small way, and now there's a lot more competition in the marketplace. There's a lot more noise. There's a lot more voices out there. A lot more people trying to steal their business. So they've had to go out and start doing stuff, and that gives us, opportunities and challenges with that. But it's another sort of thing that doesn't get spoken about very much. So I just thought I'd add my perspective on that too. But yeah, definitely in terms of the content capturing, I'm sure you're going to be doing that. But with the different rigs that are set up, then you can have, the long form content for YouTube, the clips that you can get for TikTok and Instagram, and post the stuff that you can post on X as well. That will don't lose those opportunities. Don't think, oh, I'll do it next time. We need to capture all of that stuff. So just to anyone else out there, I'm sure you're thinking this already, but to anyone else who's doing anything like that, just take it seriously and think of yourself as a media organization that has to get the content from the words that you're speaking.
Yeah, that's a great tip, Jason. Yeah, we're all media companies now, right? Like we're 100% media companies, and to your earlier point about the existing customers that need to market now, like that's good for us. And we love a challenge, right? We love a challenge, but that's good for us because they realize, wow, like this we do have to take this serious, right? Like we haven't had to take this serious for years. We've been good to go. But now it's like, shrinking market share, competition, as you mentioned. So now it's like, they need to talk to professionals, and we're here for them. So, but the key point that I try to really stress for them is, look, it's not really just about now creating another marketing campaign. Yeah, that's part of the process, but if you really want a sustainable business, you have to create a movement. You have to create a community, you have to create a movement, and that's what's going to help you sustain, and people want that, connection around products and services. Products and services are the byproduct of the movement and the mission. And, the campaign tactics and strategies are part of that. But ultimately, people really have to, your message has to move people. Your message has to move people. And if you're not moving people to the next action, like, you're going to have a challenge, right? So yeah, great points there, Jason. Let's go over to Danielle, and then we'll go to Antonio, and then Andy, and then Blockface. Okay, Danielle, how's it going? Chief Flourish Officer, how you doing?
We decided that was my new title, right? It was so funny when that woman did that to me. Hey, Christelle, I came in a little too late. I heard you gave some sort of recipe. I know somebody wanted me to email it. I would suggest, because other people will listen to this recording, if you could put it down in the comments, that would be cool, right? Because we all want to know what the recipe is. And Justin, I hope you feel better. I'm glad that I'm inspiring you to get back into the speaking circuit. This isn't funny to even call it a speaking circuit, right? But that eventually is what it becomes. And I'm really excited to see what 2026 brings for me. And you know what, you mentioned military. I too, listen, we for students, military, things like that, we go there and we be of service, and no pun intended, but I've actually, I'm in conversations, early conversations with working with the military down in San Diego, which was prompted by a guy who's running the University of San Diego. He's running their whole MBA program for commercial real estate. And I don't know, he's so connected, this man. And he was the one who came to me and said, these military people are having a really difficult time transitioning into real work life. They're so accustomed to taking orders and directions that now that they have to think on their own feet, it's too wide of a change. And so he's like, I believe that your coaching would help with that. I want to start coordinating a program around that. And I was like, hell yeah. And I'll tell you though, if he institutes something like that, not only would it be such a gift for me to do, but I would absolutely have to be like a paid person to do that. Could you imagine like coming to San Diego, but on programs? So there's an exclusion along those lines, right, guys? I mean, at the end of the day, we want to be as gratuitous as we can in life, because that's really what it's all about, but not to our detriment, because I know that all of us have, to some degree, because we've had conversations for the past year, have done that a little bit to a fault. And it can be very injurious to our own financial well-being and the responsibilities we have for our family. So I am like over here. I've been up for a couple of hours and I just work really, really well as soon as I wake up. And so I've been banging things out. But what I'm really excited about, I feel like I'm having Christmas this morning. I had like a 2 hour lunch set today, and I would have had to travel a half hour to get to it. And I was taking somebody to thank them for something they did that brought me really good business. And they just asked me if they could reschedule. And guys, I mean, I would have never been the one that could have rescheduled it. I just got a couple
Isn't that
hours.
the best? Isn't that the best?
Can we just talk about when all of a sudden you're living a huge chunk of time in your day and you're like, oh, and they're all apologetic, like, I'm so sorry I'm doing this last minute. And I'm over here like with my
You're like, no,
vanity
thank
suit on.
you. Thank you, really. Thank you.
You know what? Okay, this is so dumb, but I do that on purpose every day and every week with my teams. So I schedule our meetings. I have a 15-minute agenda, and we spend 15 minutes doing the work, a few minutes chit-chatting, and then I go, cool, give me back your time.
Yeah.
Every single day, every single meeting, everybody's like, oh, that's the Andy thing. Andy's doing his Andy thing. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It rocks.
I love that, Andy. That's so funny. Anyway, I'm really excited because we all know this time of year, right? We have not just our work responsibilities, but also like the holiday driven responsibilities. And I'm just like, oh, this is the best. So, yeah, get some pep in my step because of that. But, you know, the process is with regard to what the title is for today. I honestly, right, I'm like 2 years into this. I don't even know that I really was doing it the first year I left corporate America. I think there was just a whole lot of healing, to tell you the truth. Not that I was sad, but it was like, wow, what does this all look like? And then I will tell you, admittedly, in the last year, I probably treated my business, when I look at it from a business standpoint, more as a hobby than an actual business. And what I mean by that is, like, sure, I was prospecting clients and I was doing some work and I was gaining some traction, but I really didn't have systems in place that would reflect, what a real build is. I didn't. And it's not that I didn't consult some business coaches and work with people, but I didn't institute a whole lot because I don't think I felt like I had a lot to populate, to be honest. And now we're turning that corner. And I think I'm right on time because people will tell you when you start building a business from scratch that it takes a couple years. And when you go into that, you think like, oh my God, I don't have a couple years. I need paychecks. But the truth of the matter is to actually, for it to morph into something and become quote unquote real and require these systems, it takes a minute unless you start with a robust thing. And I was really starting from scratch and being more creative in book writing and things like that, which is a foundation I needed. So I have no problem about that, but it cost me some time. And now all of a sudden things are clicking and they're making sense. And more than that, the fear and the hesitation I used to have around getting structured, because I am not an organization queen. I am really productive, but I have not in the past been very structured. I've always had people do that for me in corporate America. And so now we're turning the corner and I don't hesitate and I don't like flinch anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, now this process, okay, this thing, that. And it's exciting because I feel a newer version of me. And that's, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, we'll see what 2026 brings. I mean, it's growing in ways. My biggest, you know what, the biggest thing that I've come to learn is that I can plan, but it's always about the pivot, right? Because God has shown me the ways that my business can take off, and it doesn't necessarily look like the one that I had designed for myself. I am in no way disappointed, but what it continues to prove to me is that I need to stay open and just stay honest with myself and do the daily work that is necessary to move forward. And that's it. And then other things will they will present. They just do, as long as you act in a state of discipline with consistency and put the fear aside. And it's really a good thing to start being selective as to what you will take on as a business. It's not that I'm turning away clients per se. I certainly don't want to turn away income, but I am being more selective about how I use my time, because if you don't have that strategy, you pretty much get screwed. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm here for the conversation. And yes, I'm so happy I have a couple of hours. I mean, I've already know what I'm going to do with them, and it's not going to be sitting on the beach, which, by the way, if you were in Southern California, you could. It was like 85 yesterday. I mean, We're having a heat wave. It literally feels like summer right now. It's crazy.
Dude, I was driving in my car yesterday, it was 78. I'm like, gosh, come on, seriously? Seriously? I mean, hey, I'm not complaining, but man, I mean, it was warm, Danielle. It was warm.
Toasty, to tell you the truth, but it was sunny, and it really is incredibly beautiful. I mean, people would die for this kind of weather. But I want to be wearing like my holiday gear and my red sweaters and stuff. So anyway, okay, I'm here for the conversation. I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, thanks, Danielle. Yeah, where's the focus, right? Where's the focus? That's what it's all about for all of us. And yeah, like and that's it's really empowering when you're in full calibration and full alignment mode. Will would be proud of me here. I'm a good student with Will's coaching, right? When you're in alignment and you have full yeah, when you have full alignment, it's empowering because then you can be more selective with your time and the type of quality of clients. Like I shared a post yesterday, like expressing that it's really empowering when, you know, people and companies recognize your value and they have budgets. I mean, what a great feeling. Oh my gosh, right? So yeah, I feel you, Danielle. And yeah, the 5 year plan, that's why it's a 5 year plan and we're 2 years into it. Right? You're literally 2 years into it, right? Christelle's a little farther along the way. Andy's doing his, government stuff and he's doing well there and Will's doing his thing. Jason's been at this game for like 20 years as well. So Antonio's just getting started, right? So we're all in our different phases, right? But the important thing is just to not stop, right? Just what is the next move, right? As Jason Digital says, right? It's all about your next move, and just so where's the focus? Stay focused, and yeah, it's entirely empowering. So when you can do that, so okay, jump in here, Andy, and then we'll pass it to Antonio, and then Blockface, and then Will.
Okay, cool. Well, we've said so many things. First, I record whenever I do a talk, I record everything. I copy the transcript into my LLM and then say, pull out the best parts of what I said. And then I grab those as quotes. I use those as things that I want to use for content in the future. I used to use Descript and Opus Clip and all, and for me, the transcripts work just as good because I can make the best content. Are we all media companies? Yes. Yesterday I talked about the constriction that I see coming in the structure of the IT economy in the world. Roughly 80% of everybody who works in quote unquote IT departments, they are in building projects. And projects are going to come swifter, faster, but humans can't change that fast. And so when the rate of adoption and change of humans gets to the point where they're good, they can't take anymore. They push back on changes, constant change. Like think about if your computer made an update every day, it would get better, but eventually you'd be like, just stop. For F's sake, I gotta just get stuff done. Stop making me make an update. But AI can go that fast, and we're gonna reach that. You watch, that's gonna happen. But then when that happens, there's going to be a constriction where we squeeze all the IT departments down, and roughly, I think, well, what Gartner says is 75%, but I think it's probably about 60% of all the people in IT are going to be out on their ass. And then what's going to happen after that is they're going to have to be forced into something else, creating other departments, creating other things, creating whatever. There's going to be a massive, unbelievable, awesome explosion of tools, technologies, ideas, apps, machines, devices, things, stuff that's going to be even better, but also just so much choice, which means more attention. And the end result of everything is marketing and lead generation is going to be the most important part. The most important part, because right now we're already flooded with competing attention, alerts, things, TikTok, Instagram, X, Rumble, YouTube, videos, shorts, Facebook, whatever. Okay, that literally, just those things I mentioned take over your entire day, every day, and you love it. We are humans. We love that stuff. but marketing to get attention, to buy the next thing for what you're doing, for what you're selling, for whoever's selling it, and then rapid deployment. These are the two things that I've really been working on, and that is what's next, and that is we're going to contract traditional IT departments and create all these spinoffs. And the second thing is, because there's so many spinoffs, there's going to be so much attention. And getting attention, in other words, marketing, grabbing your attention, sales, converting them into customers, those are the two keys. They always were, but it's going to be 10 times, 100 times more important. People are going to shift money from building new versions of, Salesforce. And by the way, it was the guy who runs Snowflake, which is a big middleware interface thing, a trillion, huge billion dollar company, who said, do the one thing. Lead generation is attention, and lead generation are the most important skills to learn right now. Sales can come second. If you get 100 leads a day, you get 100 shots at a sale. You'll get better at sales. If you have one sale, if you have one time a day, you're going to suck no matter what, because you're going to go 100 days and close 2 or 3 people. But if you get 100 shots a day, you're going to get way better, way faster. And so lead generation is going to be the most important skill in the future. And then the quality of whatever you deliver is second. And right now that it's backwards. The quality of what you deliver is more important than the leads, because if you have really good quality, people will go, oh, I've never even seen an Apple ad. I'll buy another Apple. I'll buy another iPad, and the next iPhone, whatever, right? That's what I think is happening. And success metrics are, how close did you get to being right or wrong? Because we're never fully right, but we're also never fully wrong. You just want to get, you want to be 99% right or 1% wrong, not the other way around. So those are my notes that I keep down right now. Tool creations. But if you're going to focus on anything, my opinion, lead generation, getting people's attention and getting them to click on something, whether it's give me your email list, get my lead magnet, get my free guide, exchange some contact information for you so I can get your attention in a different way. I think that's the most important skill there is today.
Yeah, and that's getting more challenging. And here's a prime example. I was talking to a client yesterday. So they were working with a previous marketing company, and they were getting Facebook leads imported into their CRM through the native lead form on Facebook, and the quality of leads really went down, right? And so they had to switch that model and then go directly to the landing page. So the point is quality and quantity. You want both. You want quality and you want quantity, but you don't want, and you got to be careful when you use some of these systems and you run ads, that sometimes the quality is not there. So they were getting a lot of native form submissions into Facebook for leads, which was the conversion metric they were optimizing for, but the quality was crap. They were crap leads. So here they are paying a ton of money for crap leads. And, he's like, yeah, this is, part of our challenge, Justin. So yeah, we got a big initiative here for them, and it's gonna be good. We're excited to take on the challenge, that's for sure. And yeah, and one of the things, this is a pro tip for everyone, is you always want to get your first 30-day wins, like quick wins, as much as possible in the beginning, because that establishes more trust with the client, and then they'll, feel better about the decision they made of why they're investing with you and going with you. So yeah, part of the strategy is, yeah, we have a 90-day plan. We're setting up the foundation. We're dialing in the tech, making sure tracking is working. Google Tag Manager with Google Analytics, with Facebook Business Manager, with Google Ads. Everything's tied together. Event tracking, all that fun stuff, right? Technical, boring stuff, but it's critical. Because if you don't have that locked down, you're not going to get the full visibility from A to Z and see which metrics are really driving the business, right? And this is where a lot of companies fail. They don't have full visibility from A to Z as much as possible. And things are broken. The tech is broken. So we fix it and then we run ads. We don't spend another dime until we fix the foundation. and it's worked out well for me for 15 years. I do the same thing. It's nothing different. I've been doing the same thing for 15 years. The same exact system. So, and then the other thing you mentioned, Andy, as far as the transcript, yeah, um, can't stress that enough. You know, and oh, the coaching. So let's say you do a sales call, make sure you record it. Okay, record the transcript of the sales call or record it on your phone, and then take the transcript, feed it to your LLM of choice, and say, hey, take on the role of a sales coach. I need you to give me some feedback on how I can improve on this call. Right? So now you have a personal sales coach as well to help you improve. So that's another pro tip. Okay, let's jump over to Antonio and then we'll go to Blockface and then Will. Antonio, are you back, man? Yeah, you're good, man.
So I'm running around radiology department, so that's most likely what's going on. But to Danielle and Andy's point, because I mean a lot of stuff was said. I feel like Danielle hit it on his head. I'm not really doing any tracking at all, right? Because I'm still kind of in that phase shift of from hobby to an actual business, right? But I could definitely see how metrics could help a solopreneur quite a bit, right? Because here in the corporate world, we get these dashboards and all these metrics and very clear, data to where to focus your energy. So that could only help, in my business, right? So I think the goal for 2026 is to focus down on that. Maybe get a little bit a few more metrics, because right now it's really, did I work on my business today? And that's pretty much the only thing I'm tracking. But yeah, I mean, great space. I'm excited to grab the transcript and distill all this wisdom that all you guys are sharing. Really appreciate everyone, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, Antonio. And yeah, the basic metrics to track for you and all of us is on the newsletter side is my subscribers growing? That's number one. Am I getting more active subscribers? That's one metric. Number two is the open rate. So is my open rate increasing or is it decreasing? And just monitor that and then click through rate. So those are literally the only three metrics you need to worry about right now in the beginning phase is number of active subscribers. Is it growing? Making sure that you're not getting unsubscribes. That's number one. Number two, the open rate. Obviously, benchmark across the board. If you're getting above a 20% open rate, like that's pretty good. Now they have industry benchmarks for each industry that you can look out on your own. But generally speaking, 20% open rate is pretty good. And then click-through rate, you want that high, right? You want a high click-through rate. That means there's interest. That means people are clicking on an ad or they're clicking on your products or services or to book a call or they're watching the video. So those are the only three metrics you need to worry about when it comes to your email newsletter and Beehive. And they have some great metrics there. So and yeah, just we want to grow that. That's the important thing. So all right, let's jump over to Blockface and then we'll go to Will. And welcome Timo and Yvonne and Hoops. Thanks so much, Yvonne, for reposting the space. Really appreciate it. So good to see you. We got Hoops, we got Edwin. Edwin, good to see you, brother. Todo bien aquí. Poquito enfermo ahorita, pero todo bien aquí porque yo es un Ronin. Es un Ronin por mi energía, okay? So no te preocupes, okay? All right, that's my Spanish.
Sin, I don't know what you've been doing, but your Spanish has like that was a full paragraph, and I'm proud of myself because I understood all of it. Probably because you're speaking slowly like I need. But that was so good. I'm so proud of you. I had to come off the mic to say that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my wife's Hispanic, guys, so that's my thing, so but yeah, thank you. It's a lot of practice, you fall off, but it's like riding a bike, you never forget it. So but yeah, thank you, Christelle. And yeah, let's jump over to Blockface. How's it going, man?
Hey, really enjoying the conversation, making a lot of notes. Thank you, Justin, for doing this.
I wanted to ask a question of Jason. Jason, are you still there? I kind of typed my question in the DM, but from looking at the infographic on Growth Stack, it appeared to me that you were creating a RevOps engine for rainmakers and community leaders on Spaces. I wanted to see if I got that right.
Yeah, no, hi, sorry. Yeah, hi, Blockface. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. I've been calling it like the organic sales funnel. I've given it all different types of names. XROS, I'd called it for the X Revenue Operating System, but I kind of like the name that you've given it. I think it's the best way to sell any product or service on X. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and it's a system that I've created. So thanks for spotting it. And thanks for coming up and asking about it. But yeah, that's a good way of putting it in a nutshell like that. I might use that.
Well, might I learn more if you don't mind me asking? That's my last question. I've been hosting and selling on Spaces since 2022, and I've never seen anyone kind of enginize this revenue before. So thank you for what you've done and what you've published already.
Yeah, no, thanks. There's a YouTube video that explains like the whole process. It goes on for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Perfect.
Or I can speak to you for 10 minutes and tell you how it works. It's I don't want to take over Justin's space.
No, take over, Jason. Take over. You're a Ronin. That's why we're here. Take over.
Okay, well, I would probably be able to answer your questions in the most effective way with a 10-minute call, 15-minute call to go over it with you, and I can explain in a bit more detail how the process. There's a lot of other boxes there that need explaining, and like anything with any system, it's all about the execution of how you do it. But the pieces are in place there, and it's there out in the open for people to see that this is a different way of working. And I think from an organic perspective, it's the best way to. There are other ways to do it on social. But I feel that that's the way that you lead with authority. That's how you become a category leader. And that's how you become the obvious choice for what your product or services that you're selling, by leading with authority that no one else has. No one else has been bothered to do any of this stuff. So if you can do it and execute in that way, then that's how it works. But yeah, whichever way you want to do it. If you want to look at the YouTube, it's on the website, on growthstack.club on my profile, and you can go into more detail. I break it all down, or you want to have a conversation, I set up a 15-minute call.
What's the website again? Growth Stack.
It's in my profile. It's in my bio. It's growthstack.club.
Yeah, and please drop it down below in the purple pill, Jason, for everyone, if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, good stuff. And essentially and I can speak for, give the endorsement for Jason. Since I've been on X for 2 years and a few months now, Jason was one of those business marketing people that, I've been collaborating with on Spaces for these past 2 years. So yeah, there's no one better, Christelle, Jason, like these are some of the OGs, Timo, we've all been on this journey together for the last 2 years. So yeah, you're learning from the best here, Blockface. So, and Jason's one of those. So, but yeah, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate the kind words. And yeah, we do these spaces, guys, Monday through Friday, 6:45 a.m. Pacific, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays in the Startup Circle community, which we're almost at 7,000 members, which is awesome. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we're in the Revenue Ronin community, which, it's all about, sales and marketing mastery in the Ronin community that we're building. The mission is 1,000 Ronins. That's the mission. And, we've had about 35 go through the ranks here. So we're growing, slowly, but we're growing in the right direction. And, people are getting transformations. And like we'll go to Will next. He gave me a great testimonial about, how I was able to help him fast track his business, bring in revenue, and, really hit the ground running and not have to spend a year. He spent a couple months, and now he's, has a flourishing community, one of the top communities on school as far as engagement metrics. So, but yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Let's jump over to Will. Will, how's it going, man?
Hey, Justin. Doing really well, thank you. And thank you for the shout out. That's very kind. Hey to everyone. How are Ronins? So, yeah, I've been listening to the conversation for a little while here. And I genuinely meant what I said as well, by the way. This space has fast-tracked my learning. And also, big shout out to Andy as well, who keeps challenging me in the best way to be better. So I'm not sure if you saw in the video I made this morning, Andy, but I actually took your advice. I put my goal on a card in 3 words, and I've stapled it or self-taped it to the back of my monitor. So it's literally in front of my face. So yeah, I was going to say, how are you tracking success metrics? Well, I feel like I'm really blessed here to be doing this in 2025 because the metrics have been so easy to come by now. So my primary business model is, well, my preferred business model is the school community that I run. And it gives me a full dashboard breakdown of about page visits, conversion rates, retention rates, everything I might need. But I'm a big fan of the idea that what you track shows what you care about, right? So this is something that's really powerful to me. It's like, how can I get better at each one of these things 1%? And this is something I'm really, really doubling down on going into 2026. But then also the other thing, Justin, I wanted to obviously give a bit of a shout out to you here as well, is the collaboration that we're doing together this month, helping people with the internal and the external game. I'm also tracking meticulously everyone's show up rate, everyone's declaration rate, and everyone's completion rate with a proof. I can tell you guys that we're still at 100% on day 11. So far this month, all of our paid members are 100% on their declared actions every single day. So we're seeing consistency going well beyond what I would normally expect. And I want to shout out a couple of members in the room. We've got Trishad down there, who's absolutely crushing it. We've got, of course, yourself and Andy and Timo and Antonio. So I'm tracking the things that matter to me and to the business and importantly to the customers to make sure you guys are happy and you're getting the best service possible. So the success metrics for me, Jason, for Justin, are the completions of the clients. Like because if the clients are winning, if they're showing up, if they're being stable, if they're being consistent, and they're growing their business based on their inputs every single day, the outputs take care of themselves. And that, I believe, is the best metric I could be looking at.
Yeah, incredible, Will. And it all starts with who we're being, right? Like I've been tagging you on a few videos out there that, essentially until you know what to look out for and listen for in the videos, like you don't really pick up on it. But now it's like, and this goes for everyone. It's like you sharpen your hearing. You sharpen your hearing when you're operating from a standpoint of who am I being? And what do I need to look out for in this video? And you're picking up on the keywords that they're saying. They're like, well, it wasn't until I started being this way, this type of way, then I started getting the result. I mean, this is absolutely critical, and it's just been heightened in the last few months for me. So, and for everyone else that's going through Will's program. So the point is, it always starts with, who you're being as an operator and then doing the work. And you always come. So go ahead, Will, jump in.
You have to become it first. You have to do it second, and then you will get it third. And most of the time, if you just do it, you'll become it, and then you'll get it. But you have to, it's become it first.
Yeah, 100%. I made a graphic on that the other day. I'm going to try and find it and put it in the chat for everyone. But what I was going to say, there's a great quote that I love here, Justin, and this is so relevant for everybody. And it's about books, but it works for videos. It works for everything. When you read a good book the second time, you don't see something in the book that wasn't there before. You see something in yourself that wasn't there before because your level of awareness has changed. And it's not for the fact that you didn't hear the words, it's you didn't have the awareness to understand the words. And this was true for me as well. God, this is going back, right? I read Mind Power Secrets by Dane Spotts in 2004. I was 17 at the time. I read that book and it was like 20 minutes long. It was really short. And everything that I know now is in there, to a large degree. And I did not have the awareness to understand what I was reading. So I put it on a shelf. And now, 21 years later, I can go back and I can see this guy is talking about exactly the same thing I'm talking about. And yet, I could not see the message and the information. And when you go back and Justin, you tagged me in the Huberman Goggins interview where they're talking about the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, right? I've seen that interview. And yet, when I go back with another level of understanding, I am able to make connections and pick out things that I'd never seen before. And I'll go on record as saying this, guys. And like Andy, we had a great conversation about this the other day, right? But the only thing you're ever lacking is awareness. You know enough, you have the skills, and if you don't see them in yourself right now, when you raise your level of awareness, you will see how to do it better. So in all the getting that you are doing, raise your awareness. Who are you being? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? What is your goal? As I was reminded to get clear on yesterday. And once you've got that level of awareness, just ask yourself, is what I'm doing aligned with what I want to be? And oftentimes, 70 to 80% of it is not. So just take that away and you'll immediately double or triple your productivity by not doing the things that aren't getting you close to where you want to be. So I'll leave it there for now, Joseph. But yes, great question, great space. And I really do believe that when you start tracking it in that way, you will see what is important to you. And maybe I'll just add one final thing, right? If somebody looked at your entire week and they didn't know you, would they believe you were serious about your goals? Because your actions don't lie. Words can lie, but your actions never do. So track your inputs, friends.
This is exactly why sometimes we have to go reread books or rewatch videos because who we were years ago, we're a completely different person. So you read it through a new lens of who you're being. This is powerful. This is why I'm listening to John Maxwell's 360-degree leader book right now in my CD in my car. Okay, I found it. My daughter and I were cleaning up my, bookshelf and she's like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh, I need to re-listen to this," right? One of my favorite books, John Maxwell 360-degree leader. So the point is, I'm listening to it through a new lens versus when I was in college. So that's why the level of awareness that Will you're talking about is absolutely critical. So I can't stress that enough. So yeah, good stuff. I want to welcome Trisha. Trisha is one of my favorite ex-creators here. The Pink Ronin. I call her the Pink Ronin because I saw a video like from a year ago where she did a video and she had a feature in there with like the Ronin, the Pink Ronin, and I loved it. So I'm a big fan of her work. And so welcome, Trisha. Good to have you. Are you there?
Hey, my friend, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome to have you here. Yeah, thanks for being here. Big fan of your work, and yeah, thanks for being here. We're talking our favorite topics here, sales and marketing mastery, and yeah, thanks for being here. Awesome. Yeah, really big fan of your work. Yeah, you got it.
Sales and marketing, just mess around here every day.
But you did the right. You were like, hire me. I think I might have been the only one who heard that. I caught it though. That's enough for sales. Hire me.
That's a sales thing. Give me money. Just send me money.
Send me money.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And yeah, like I hope you're connected with Hoops because you guys make really great videos. Like, you're two creators on here that make some of my, well, you, Karata, Hoops and and Alex Utopia. And yeah, you guys are making really great, videos, the AI stuff. So really appreciate it. And yeah, you'll have to do a collaboration one of these days with the blue and black Revenue Ronin and then your pink Ronin. That would be like wow. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. That would make my whole month. So so yeah, thanks for being here, Trisha.
Multicolored Ronin.
I love it. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's go to Danielle and then we'll go to Timo and then we'll go to Hoops.
Well, two things. I wanted to respond to what Will said, but Trisha had me at her accent. I've never seen you or heard you before, I don't think, Trisha. But I immediately, when you started speaking, I'm like, okay, I love her just because of how she speaks. And then I took a quick look at your page. I'm like, okay, I love her even more. Look at these crazy videos. So I don't know if you can see the metrics. I'll be stalking you later. Very entertained by what I saw in about 5 seconds. So cool. And that's what's great about these spaces, right? You never know who you're going to meet or even why, but you find out later. So that just made me smile. But going back to what Will was saying about awareness, here we're talking about systems, and I had said, I confess I don't really systematically, or I haven't, but I'm starting to with my business, do systems. But when it comes to what he was talking about, like, absolutely, one of the things I have consistently said and that I utilize in my coaching practice is that what I call the 3 A's, because to Will's point, it all begins with awareness. And we can only be in a state of awareness if we're in a state of curiosity, not just ourselves, but our clients, anybody we come in contact with. And you think about how many times you're like, oh, aha. Right. And then you have that moment. Well, great. So what do you do with that moment? Awareness is the first A. The second A is acceptance. Acceptance of the situation. That doesn't mean approval, but it's about accepting what it is that you're looking at and what you need to change or move from. Right. So awareness, acceptance, and then the third one is the real deal maker. It's action. You put into action what you have become cognizant of in awareness and what you understand and accept to be true in acceptance. So always talking that framework in my life and in my clients and in my coaching practice, because that systematically is just like the process, right? But you must have awareness first. And again, that comes from curiosity and from some work, both inner and outer. So I love what you said, Will, and I just wanted to chime in. And nice to meet you, Trisha. I followed you.
Amazing. Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, the awareness part and how, we deal with that pretty regularly on the agency side of the business where, companies they may not be aware of where the breakdowns are, which is why we as professionals have to help diagnose and conduct that audit slash assessment and diagnose where those real pain points are in their business. They can say it's one thing, but until we look under the hood, we're not going to really be able to find out, right? Like that's why I need to get access to I get the keys to the kingdom, right? They give me access to all their data, all their, CRM systems and website and all this stuff. And then I diagnose and I run audits. And then, I just share with them the findings, right? I just share with them the findings, and then they're blown away at what we're able to discover because again, they weren't aware. And even if they were working with other marketing companies, it doesn't matter. Like I can always find something. If you look hard enough, you absolutely can find something. And it's not a negative thing. It's just having that clarity and the awareness of what the real problems are and the challenges. And this is, call it a superpower if you will, but this is why, companies work with me because we're able to identify me and my team, large gaps in their marketing and their sales and then fix it, right? So come up with a plan. Okay, here's what we're going to fix. And that's what it's all about. So, and I know you do the same thing in your group coaching. And I know Will does the same thing, and Andy and Christelle, we all do the same thing. But really having that awareness and clarity and visibility into things that they might, because they have their blinders on, right? Right. They have their blinders on. And then our job is to remove the blinders and let them know, like, hey, these are the areas where, we need to make improvements. So, but yeah, good stuff, Danielle. Let's go over to Timo. Oh, we'll go over to Hoops and then Timo. All right, Hoops, over to you, man.
Morning, guys. Hope you guys are all doing well. Great to see you here, Trisha. She is the best. I mean, I've been on. We are on quite a few platforms. We're on Huge. We're on here. We're on TikTok. She's the best. I haven't seen any AI artist that create. I'm not sure if she's single or she's got a team working with her, the character, but they putting out the best work, and I can say that for myself because I've been watching Trisha run around the block for quite a while. Yeah, AI artists out here can touch the work she does. So big up, Trisha. Big up, big up. And great to see you in this room. Awesome. Awesome. I hope I'm the one you followed in here. Morning, guys. I'm just trying to process all this fallout from I don't know, going viral, I guess, on LinkedIn and Facebook. I got almost 500,000 on Facebook, and it's at like almost 40,000 on LinkedIn. So I got 1,800. I got like 2,000 comments, and yeah, it's a little. So I'm trying to communicate with all those. The beautiful thing about Facebook and LinkedIn is that I can see all the people who I've interacted with the post. It's at 36,000, 38,000 now. I can see all the people, so I can reach out to them individually one by one. I'm wondering if there's a better way, to reach out to these 2,000 people. Because or should I just go through it one by one? And that's the one on LinkedIn, and then I have Facebook. There's another. Yeah, it gets another crazy because that's almost 500,000 over there. But I have the contacts now to invite into my newsletter. And these are people who are capable of purchasing high ticket offers as well. So I'm happy about that. I think that's a nice little treasure trove. So I'm just trying to process that a little better now from what the results of that one post that went, on LinkedIn and Facebook. Just trying to process all these connections because there's a lot of people reaching out to me, and I'm reconnecting with old coaches and old trainers in different countries, on LinkedIn, because they all got to see the article. So anyway, I'll stop there. That's I'm just trying to process now all of this this what do you call it? This interaction. Yeah. I'm a little tired too, guys. I've been going through a lot lately.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're getting them. Hopefully you're getting them to your email list, Hoops. I mean, that's the first thing, you know. Yeah, that's priority number one is, I mean, and congrats on going viral. And I remember we were talking months ago about the LinkedIn stuff. You're like, oh no, should I go over there? Should I play in that sandbox? And it's like, yeah, man, get it out there. You never know where your content is going to resonate and you're going to get traction unless you test it, right? So, and then like the Jim Lazy Canadian model is always, look, add value, get their attention, get them into your email list, and then it's like those opportunities will open up for collaborations, affiliates, and high ticket, and yeah, man. So yeah, just keep doing your thing, man. Big fan of your stuff on TikTok now that we're connected over there. I'm seeing your stuff, so yeah, man. It's just enjoying the journey, right? Enjoying the journey and buckle up, So we still got plenty of December to go, and 2026 is gonna be everyone's year here. We're gonna have some serious revenue coming in next year for all the Revenue Ronin community and the Startup Circle folks. I mean, yeah, I mean, I see the writings on the wall. We've been putting in the preparation, we've been putting in the work, and yeah, we're just getting better daily. That's what it's all about, continuous improvement daily. So. Yeah, good stuff, Oops. Thanks for being here. Let's go over to Timo and then Netta and then Will. And we're going to wrap up in a few minutes here, guys, at 8. I can go a little bit longer here after 8, but just be mindful of the time if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, over to you, Timo. How's it going?
Hey. Yeah, how do I track success metrics? Well, obviously, hop into the space. You were talking about open rate, click-through rate, pretty much, basically click-through rate and then open rate of the emails that I send out. Put it on the Jumbotron. Started my newsletter March 17th this year, and the Beehive Rewind just came yesterday, and apparently I have written 291,000.4 words. Yeah, I've been typing away. And that is an interesting metric, to be honest. And who knows what's that going to be? 500,000 next year? Who knows? But yeah, when it comes to other success metrics when it comes to the newsletter. How many affiliates I have. Just got a new one the other day, and out of the 8, I have now 3, which is pretty good percentage. 8 leads and 3 signups for the paid plan. I mean, rest of them have the free plan too. But yeah, that's a thing that I kind of follow because that convince someone to start the paid version. It kind of requires some sweet talking or sexy graphs. And boy, does Beehive serve those. Yeah, other than that,
you think they're sexy? Really? I guess it's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, the hockey sticks. Come on, what could be better? And yeah, one more thing on the side of running websites. One thing that comes to my mind, a recent event where something had happened and I was able to isolate some problematic things out of the website while buying groceries in less than 15 minutes. So someone's special website is still alive and kicking. Though it was built so that no real harm could have been done. Content might have been lost. Few elements could have been ruined, but other than that, yeah, that was kind of a fun event yesterday. So yeah, that's I am happy to help people on the website stuff and build those out if people want them. But I'm also happy to keep them safe if something happens. So yeah, I don't know. Next year is going to be fire, more newsletters, and me and Kevin are doing something on the back channels, and we're kind of following how that goes, but we're looking to funnel a whole ton of traffic soon. But that's going to take about at least a month, maybe 2. So let's see how that goes. It's kind of a hardcore effort to do that. But yeah, I'll land my plane here so other people can still have a chance to talk.
Yeah, thanks, Timo, for all your help and hard work. And yeah, I'm gonna be connecting with my team member after this call, so that's a priority we're working on. So thanks for that, Timo. All good. As you grow, like you're gonna have, you know, certain situations where, you just have to adapt and maintain security. Security is a big thing, so just make sure you're keeping your stuff secure. Really important. So, okay, let's jump to Netta and then Will, and then we're gonna go to final word here with Christelle and Andy. Okay, all right, thanks. Will, over to you. Or sorry, Netta, over to you. How's it going? Good to see you, Netta. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I'm a little sick here, so I'm a little slow. Sorry.
For not finding your spaces and Andy's and Will's. Either I'm working or sleeping, but thank you so much for the beautiful spaces you all host. Hoops, congratulations to you. And my very quick share is regarding your success metrics. I think we each have success metrics for our personal life, professional life, community work in my case. And the word adaptable comes to mind. Life circumstances change. We all go through our fair share of stuff in life, but it's being able to quickly pivot and adapt. That's really, in my opinion, and even changing what our success metrics are like depending on the circumstances in our life. That's really what's going to help us succeed, right? And attain or get to those success metrics. So give yourself some grace because life always changes. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Netta. Always great to see you. I know you got a lot on your plate right now, and thanks for all you do on this platform and supporting the communities that you're involved in. And yeah, you've been a huge influence on me on these on these X streets. So thank you. And yeah, thanks for being a Ronin. You're a Ronin. So yeah, thank you, Netta. All right, Will, over to you.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to say something, but I want to just pick up when Netta jumped in as well to say the way is made. You don't know the whole way, right? But like the power of having a destination, a GPS location that you're going towards, well defined, will mean that if you face a setback, the road is closed, for example, you will find a detour. And what I find like the number one thing that holds people back from this is being too attached to those temporary circumstances, those temporary hits, which we all have. And I love the way that Sam Ovens said this once, right? He said, the results you experience today are the result of the work you did 3 months ago. So it's just going back to that old Bible verse, right? Judge the day not by what you reap, but by what you sow. And this is really just me saying, focus on your inputs, right? Because life is going to throw you curveballs. We're not always going to be able to control the outcomes, but we can always control who we're being and what we're doing. That's our domain. And for sure, we have to pivot. We have to take those detours sometimes. But just remember that you are always in control of you. And like, just to speak to you, Justin, directly, what I'm noticing from working with our Unshakable Ronins this month is like the number one benefit is the awareness. It's like every day, daily awareness reminders, twice a day, so that you don't get lost in the shuffle. You don't get that 2 to 3 day slump where you forget that you're in charge. And I think honestly, that might be where I put more of my time, because it seems like that is very helpful. So just again, thank you for the space. Thank you for the working block as always, friends. And excited to be back tomorrow for wins.
Yeah, it's been huge, Will. I feel like we've been collaborating a lot closer these last few months, and it's really impacting me positively. So I want to thank you for your friendship and your collaborations and what you're building, because it's been really helpful for me. And so yeah, thank you, Will, and thank you everyone. It's been great. So okay, go to Timo real quick for a final word, and then we'll go to Christelle and Andy.
For our in-house Welsh Socrates. There's a if you want to learn like the mental game of success, yeah, definitely check out what Will is doing. And now with the Ronin collaboration, it's gonna be crazy. Just a short tip, even though Will is the best one out there, and just today, uh, the Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett's YouTube channel, they dropped a new video with James Clear, the person who wrote Atomic Habits. If you are into this kind of stuff, it's almost as good as Will. So it's like a 2-hour video or podcast. So definitely I'll listen to it through the day while not in the meeting. So yeah, definitely a good one, but not as good as our own Will.
I appreciate that, Timo. I look to James Clear as a mentor to me as well. But yeah, I've got that queued up to watch too. But thank you. And I do appreciate the Welsh Socrates every time you say it.
Okay, we need a meme there created, the Welsh Socrates. So someone do that for us. And yeah, like the mentees become the mentors, guys. Okay, on this journey. Okay, the mentees become the mentors, right? The students become the teachers. There's a trend here, right? So, we're gonna see in the next year or two, we're gonna see Will on a big platform, and he's gonna be going viral, and we're gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, we knew Will when he was, just starting out. Or hey, we knew Netta when she was, hosting those. Remember those hunt spaces? Yeah, man, look at her now. And look at Christelle, she's hosting these masterminds in Miami. And oh, she's got a guest speaker. Look who it is, Myron Golden. And Andy's on stage speaking in Sacramento to a group of 300 business leaders, consultants, helping them change their personal brand because they didn't have one. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. So stay the course. Stay the course. All right, final word over to you, Christelle, and then we'll go to Andy.
Everyone, this is him under the weather. Can you believe it? So good. Such a great space. Thank you so much for showing up and being so consistent. We appreciate you. And yeah, I'm over here in lovable La La Land. I told you all, I'm building apps every day. I'm building simple, little basic apps. And now, guess what I did this morning? I built myself an app store because I'm like, well, I need a place to organize all my apps. So I'm having a lot of fun there. So keep building, everyone. Whatever you're building, keep doing it. And this is why I'm so glad I'm doing the 30 in 30 days with my newsletter. Otherwise, I would stop my newsletter just to build apps. But no, I cannot do that. I'm going to be consistent Monday through Friday. So yeah, lots of building, lots of creating going on. I'm so glad we got to meet Trisha today. You were a pleasure. And yeah, when Hoops mentioned your videos, I stopped my vibe coding rabbit hole to go to your page, and I was blown away. I love it. And I'm not surprised because I even just love the pink and the purple and the purple heart, all of it. I love the branding. Hey everyone, it's Justin. Great to spend this morning with everyone. I hope everyone has a great day. What's wrong, Justin? Why the sad face? I'm gonna.
I'm getting emotional. You guys are getting me emotional.
Emotional. I mean, we love all Justins, but emotional Justin, we love too. Look, we got a yellow heart from Andy. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to pass it to you before I go on a sentimental ramble.
That's to me, little sis.
Oh yes, back to you. So Justin can, shed his thug tear and keep it moving.
He can take his hands and rub them away. Like we do as men, we turn our head and wipe it away as if nobody can see us. Tracking things equals awareness. It's always uncomfortable. You want to lose weight? Okay, here's the first thing you do. Step on the scale, write down the number, and then choose if you like it or not. Okay. But awareness usually equals pain. Ugh, it's not what I want. Okay, cool. But here's the cool thing. Pain moves people, pain sells. Embrace that uncomfortable pain. And for your customers, point out the pain and then don't save them from it yet. Then give them do you want to fix it? Don't save them. Ask them if they want to fix their pain. Track that.
So good, man. So good. I got a pin.
I feel so seen because that whole get on the scale, write the number down. When I tell you I am kicking and screaming and fighting and refusing to do that, and hearing you say that, I feel is like God being like, you gotta do it. Because when Andy says it, it's like, all right, get it done. So I'm going to say here's live space. I'm going to do it by the end of the year. Okay, just give me till the end of the year.
Do it in the next 5 minutes and then it's done. Write it down, put it on a piece of paper, stick it in front of you and go, damn it, it's not what I want. Fix it.
Yeah, on the pain side, so I posted in the purple pill here on the Jumbotron, embrace the pain. Watch this video. It's really impactful about pain, right? Embracing the pain. It's the only way we grow. It's really powerful. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone for a great space. You've energized me, even though I'm fighting a cold off here. Hopefully I can stop it in its tracks today. I got a very busy day, full schedule. I'm gonna proceed accordingly because that's what Ronins do. Sometimes you gotta, push through, right? And I'm all for that. So thanks, guys, for continuing to be the fuel for the Revenue Ronin movement that we're building together. And the mission continues, 1,000 Ronins. And it's been a great conversation. I've recorded the transcript on Zoom. I know Antonio's got his recording as well. So we're locked in, and it was great to have a special guest, Trisha, here today. So that was awesome. A big fan of the Pink Ronin, as I call her. So And yeah, really, really a big fan of your work. So thank you for being here. And yeah, guys, just remember, at the end of our lives, we'll ask ourselves four simple questions. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And did I make a difference? Until next time, keep making a difference. Build that mind, build that body, build that business, build that bank account, but most importantly, build that legacy. So stay hungry and stay humble. We'll see you guys at the top. And if you want to keep growing, check out the Revenue Ronin. Join 35 others on the journey towards sales and marketing mastery, bringing in more revenue. And yeah, just remember. Oh, and subscribe to the newsletter too. I put it up there. Subscribe to the newsletter, weekly, bi-weekly tips. Oh, go ahead, Trisha. Yeah, go ahead.
Go to an onsen. You gotta go to an onsen. That's what burn-ins do.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, thank you, Trisha. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let me sign off with this, guys. Here you go. A special treat here.
In a world of uncertainty, the Ronin stands apart. A master of sales and marketing who answers to no one. Forge your own path. Create your own success. 1,000 leaders, 1,000 Ronins. Will you be next? Join the revolution now. Step into mastery at therevenueronin.com.
All right, much love, guys. Make it a productive and profitable day. We'll see you back tomorrow. Wins for the week. Get those wins under your belt so we can celebrate together. All right, much love, guys.